Andrew Morrison here, also known as Andrew the Astrologer. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm very excited because I will be peeling back the curtain and explaining this upcoming very big and important Mercury retrograde, which again will be occurring on April 1st, 2024. Now, before we get into today's main content, I just want to say, as always, if you are really needing an astrological chart reading and consultation with me, few spots available for that, and the best way to schedule that is to send me an email, which is always posted down in the description down below, and then also found in the description down there as well is a link to my free no cost whatsoever Facebook group community for astrology. And I always like to mention this if this does seem of interest to you as well. So let's get right into things. So again, this Mercury retrograde really is going to stir up a lot of things. It's going to be very messy and very chaotic, to say the least. So April 2024 really kicks off with a big bang, and the reason for this is because obviously we have Mercury retrograde. It seems like Mercury is always going in retrograde motion and energy, and so if you aren't familiar with Mercury retrograde, Mercury is the planet of communication. It's the way that we express and we relate to other human beings here on planet Earth. Planet Mercury also does have a side to it that does deal with travel and transportations, the different modes and means that we get around, so to speak. And so, quick disclaimer for today's video, if you are brand new to me and my channel, I'm not a Western-based astrologer, and so with that said, this is really important to note. I practice Vedic astrology, and other astrologers call that other different terms and other different phrases. So, with this particular Mercury retrograde, Mercury will actually be first in the zodiac sign. It's a very fiery zodiac sign of Aries. And Mercury does not feel so comfortable so much in fire signs, actually, believe it or not. Like I said, Mercury is the planet of communications and the way that we express and articulate ourselves with each other human beings. And a lot of times Mercury in fire signs, especially Aries zodiac sign, it can create a lot of heated arguments, and a lot of times people aren't always thinking rationally. They're thinking very much in emotions, and I'll also get to that as well in a little bit. So Mercury retrograde, it lasts for approximately around 3 weeks, give or take, and this Mercury retrograde for this season will again initiate April 1st, and then it will last all the way until around April 24th, April 25th. So as you can see, that's it's a large majority of the month of April. Now, just to throw out some important dates so people have, a general idea of what I'm talking about, I always like to provide dates to back up my claims for my predictions and my insights. So the date and the time frame from April 1st to approximately around April 13th, that looks very, very treacherous, very intense, and very volatile, because planet Mercury, which again, retrograde motion is moving backwards, from April 1st to April 13th, Mercury will be in these very intense, very dramatic, and very volatile degree points, which are the first few degrees of Aries, and then also when Mercury shifts and moves back a zodiac sign into Pisces, Mercury will be in the last final degrees of Pisces. So again, Mercury does not feel so comfortable or so safe in not just Aries, but believe it or not, Mercury in zodiac sign of Pisces, it's its weakest point for planet Mercury. And so this is going to be a very messy Mercury retrograde. Like I mentioned several times in today's video, Mercury is connected to communications, and so if you are sort of new to Mercury retrograde and its seasons, generally speaking, Mercury retrograde does stir things up as far as creating a lot of miscommunications. If you are traveling, especially during that time frame that I mentioned here in today's video, from April 1st to April 13th. Just be really cautious, be on the lookout, make sure to always check your travel plans, especially if you are going to the airport, if you are hopping on an airplane, because for a lot of people all around the world, not just in the US, a lot of people all around the world will be experiencing a lot of travel mishaps, a lot of delays and frustrations around that area. And not only that, April 1st to April 13th, if you don't really have to travel so much, whether it's in a car or otherwise, it's not necessarily the best time frame from April 1st to April 13th to travel, because what I foresee and I strongly predict, there's going to be a lot of chaotic accidents, especially on the road, even road rage. I see that all the time with Mercury retrograde, and especially with these zodiac type of energies. So you have to understand that zodiac sign of Pisces, that's a water-based sign, and Mercury retrograde, this will create a lot of not just a lot of heated arguments and a lot of messy arguments, but people will be acting out very much in irrational ways. You have to understand that emotions aren't always rational. A lot of times emotions, feelings, and inner sensations are oftentimes irrational. It's not always based on logic or fact, which is really interesting because Mercury does like to be more logical.